LG's efforts in artificial intelligence is a long-term strategy to be a global player in AI. It's not going to be a very quick or fast effort. It'll take years, maybe decades. And AI is here to stay. It's not going anywhere. It's not something that's going to trend and disappear. We think AI is going to be with society and people, consumers, and companies will be involved in AI for many, many, many years. And so we're looking long term. And our view of AI is it has to be intelligence that consumers want. It has to be useful for our customers. If it's just intelligence for no reason, then to us, that's not very useful. And so we're looking at ways that AI and deep learning and ThinkQ being our brand, can actually help our customers live a more convenient life. I mean, right now, like I may have mentioned before, we only have a few products that are currently using AI. We just announced it in January, so it hasn't been that long since we introduced AI into our products. Right now, we have appliances such as refrigerators, a vacuum cleaner, a robot vacuum cleaner, TV, a phone. It's not in every product yet. We hope down the road it may, but again, I think it's important to note that it has to be useful. We don't want to put AI into every product because we can. Just because you can doesn't mean you should. And so these are the questions every AI company should be asking. Speed is not the number one priority here. It's usability and it's consumer benefits. And so we're making sure that we do everything ethically. We do everything well thought out and not rush into things. Ethically, we do everything well thought out and not rush into things. Well, our strategy for industries is very different depending on the industry. For example, our strategy for smartphones is very different from our strategy for televisions. And our strategy for televisions is very different from our strategy for home appliance. These are not one-size-fits-all categories. We are a very large company with hundreds of products, and so it would be a foolish company that had one strategy for everything. That's not the case. We are a big company with many moving parts. We have hundreds of offices around the world. We have thousands, more than 70,000 employees. They all work together, but they also work independently. And so the plan for Morocco, for example, is not the same plan for China or the US. And so we have to be sure that the needs of the local consumer are met with a different strategy, plan, or products. So if you are talking about strategy for Morocco when it comes to products, well, any company wants to sell more products in Morocco, okay? That's a very simple answer. How do we do that? With what products? With what kind of timeline? These are all questions that, of course, are important, but we also have to look at what the Moroccan consumer wants. Do they want a styler? Do they want a twin wash? Or are these products useless in Morocco? For example, in some countries, a very large refrigerator is not that popular. And I asked why. Everyone wants a large fridge, I thought, because my background was I lived in countries where a large refrigerator was always convenient. But in certain markets, they tell me, oh, because we buy fresh fruits, vegetables, and meats every day. We don't need a large refrigerator. And so these are questions that I never imagined. I never imagined people want a small refrigerator, but it is true. Not every consumer in the world needs the same thing that a Korean consumer wants or an Australian consumer wants. And so what's good for Moroccans is very important to developing that strategy. I'm not an expert on our Moroccan strategy, but the people who work in our Morocco office are.